Well, I have a very famous young man with me, Paul Campanella. Paul Campanella is very well known in Las Vegas as of helping other actors getting into the business, how to get into it, and actually when you've got it and you get the job, how to act it and how to do it. And you know the funny thing about acting, it's just be normal and just be yourself. Now trying to be yourself on set with a camera in front of you is very difficult, right, Paul? You seem to completely lose it.
Yeah, of course, everybody gets nervous as soon as the camera goes on.
Yeah, as soon as the camera goes on, they've got to put this act on, but they don't.
Exactly.
Just be you.
Exactly.
And that's tough to be you.
Well, Sherry Rhodes was a great casting director, and she taught me that very principle. And what she would do is she would do a workshop with actors and give them a scene.
Yeah.
And they would practice the scene, and then she would have them come up and do the scene in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. And I would help her with this. And she would tell me, when the scene's over, don't turn the camera off. I'm going to talk to them. So then she would have a little conversation with them. She'd ask them some questions. Mm-hmm. And then when it was all over and we played back the scene, she would ask the actor, so how come you didn't just do what you did when I was talking to you? Why did you act? It's the same thing.
So she kept the camera on, and that was, and then they saw what they looked like and what they did.
Exactly.
And it's funny because you don't want to do that.
Right.
But that's really the only thing to do, because the only reason you're going to acting is because you want to act as you.
Exactly.
Out there. Although, say you're going to play a part of a police person or whatever, president or whatever, you have to know to get into that so you kind of pretend you're president, but you're still you.
Exactly. You work with what's called the given circumstances.
Yes.
It's you, but you're in those given circumstances.
Yes.
So as you mentioned, like a policeman, well, you have to take into account the occupation and the environment. What type of behavior
What do they do?
Yeah, what do you do? Because it's all about behavior.
Yes.
So how would
go to some of these marches.
Oh.
Go to some of these marches and riots, and you'll soon learn
exactly
what they do and what they don't do in this day and age.
Yeah, so basically that's what it is. It's all about learning that the type of behavior and the little things that you would have to know how they dress,
yes.
right? The wardrobe,
yes.
the makeup, the hair.
Yes.
And that all has
to do with putting it all together
yes.
to make you that person.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is one thing Paul does. Now, Paul, he does many things. I hope I get them all in. You also are an actor.
I am, yep.
And how's that going? Obviously,
good. I just finished, I just came back from LA. We did a national commercial for Miller Lite. And hopefully that's going to air during football season.
Do you have lines?
Well, actually, it's interesting. This particular commercial, they hired me on my music side of my work.
See, this is another thing.
So I was hired we're filming a sort of a concert type scene.
Okay.
And I was hired as the guitar player, which is what I do as well.
Yeah.
And,
do you sing?
Yes. In fact, I have a residency at the House of Blues here in Las Vegas.
I didn't know you had a residency
yes.
there. In the room, the small room behind?
Yes. No, actually, well, now it's back to the restaurant room.
Yeah, the restaurant room. Yeah, the restaurant
Yeah, we'll be there this Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m.
Oh, really?
Yep, the 4th and 5th. I don't know when this airs, but...
And that's at the Mandalay Bay?
Mandalay Bay House of Blues.
House of Blues, you can see him there. There's the big concert hall, and then there's the one with the restaurant, which is lovely. I filmed in there, actually.
Yes, yep.
I did a couple of things in there. So he performs, he teaches, does commercials, does acting. Which of all of them do you probably like all of them, but which of all of them do you really have a lot of fun at and you like?
I think probably the music, being on stage playing live. That's been with me my whole life, literally since I was about 6 years old. And the acting thing was always a part of what I wanted to do. And I've been really fortunate. I mean, since we moved here in 2005, I've really achieved a lot of goals that I wanted to achieve. And
yes.
Being able to work with name actors in big productions, you know.
What's the biggest name you've worked with?
Probably
many of them.
I worked with Kevin Hart. We did Think Like a Man 2.
Okay.
I worked with Kevin James in Mall Cop 2, but you don't really see me on the screen too much on that one. It was pretty edited. And then
he ended up on the floor.
I did a couple of scenes with Michael Madsen and C. Thomas Howell in a film called Dirty Dealing, which is now airing on Amazon Prime.
Oh, how amazing.
Yeah.
So do you feel that you've kind of fulfilled a lot of what you set out to do and to be?
Yes.
Do you feel you've accomplished kind of all that?
Yes.
Do you think you've accomplished more than you really anticipated or thought?
Well, I still got places to go. So I think I'm still reaching for
Where are the
beyond.
places? Where are you going? Where are you off to, my young man, Paul?
Well, believe it or not, I have a couple of screenplays that I'd like to see get off the ground in some way,
Did you
shape, or
write them?
manner. Yes.
So he's a writer as well.
Yep.
Do you write music as well?
I've written songs in the
Yes.
past. I haven't really written songs in many, many years at this point.
Yeah, we're too busy.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a couple of scripts, and I still would like to achieve further heights in acting if possible. Would love to.
And how do you feel that you could actually kind of do that? Do you think you have to get your perfection a little straighter or a little bit more when you go into an audition? Maybe because this happens a lot. When you go into an audition for one part and they look and see how you act and how you are, they might give you, a bigger part.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel that you need to upgrade that a little bit?
Well, I mean, it always is about getting the better auditions
Yes.
and the better opportunities, right?
Well, the first opportunity is getting in the audition.
Exactly.
Whatever
Right.
the audition is for. It doesn't
Right.
matter how small it is, because if they say, oh, hey, wait a second, he would be great for that part and that, and he could. So, do we?
Yeah, that
aim for
happens
that?
occasionally. It does happen.
Yes. Yes.
People ask to read for different roles.
Yes.
They go in, they do an audition, and then somebody says, like you said,
Yes.
you know what? She would be perfect for this.
Yes.
Could you read for this? And they give you the script.
Yeah.
And you go out in the waiting room and you work on it for about 20 minutes and come back and give them a feel for what it would be.
Now, I love when you
And,
said you've given 20 minutes to read a script. How professional do you have to be to do that? Because that's pretty short time to know what's going on.
Well, that's where the training comes in. You had mentioned earlier that I teach actors
teach
and I work
acting,
with
yes.
actors. And that's where that comes in, because as part of what I teach and what a lot of teachers teach is how to do what is called a cold read.
Yes.
Where you've got to be able to, you have to have really good reading skills, you have to have good comprehension skills, and you have to be able to do what I call a mini breakdown of the script. You've got to be able to just read it, figure it out, what's your
Real
objective,
fast.
what do you
'Cause
want.
then you've got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You've got to go.
You don't have to necessarily memorize it.
No.
You
They
can-
always
you can-
say that. They
Right.
say, because a lot of people think, I've got to memorize this in 20 minutes. No.
Right.
But you've got to take the part on.
Exactly.
Is more taking the part. I know I went for an audition a few weeks ago, and it's probably the worst audition I've ever been in my entire life. But the funny part was I was not embarrassed, because I didn't want the part anyway.
There you go.
So I didn't. I walked out and I'm thinking, well, I didn't want this part anyway, so who cared what I did,
And sometimes when that happens, you wind up getting the part.
Well, I didn't. I assure you I didn't. But I wouldn't have accepted it anyway, even if I had got the part.
Right, right.
It's not what I wanted to do and what I could actually put out there. But that's beside the point. At least I admit that I was really lousy. And I thought,
Exactly.
and that's when I came to you, because I came to one of your classes, the orientation
Mm-hmm.
thing. And sometimes you've got to admit that, maybe that's not the path I want to go into,
Right.
but maybe I want to do commercials, and maybe I want to do voiceovers.
Right.
Because sometimes you've got to admit to yourself that you really are a little bit too old. And I'm not saying I'm old, I'm not unhappy being older. That's not the point. The point is they're looking for very young people.
Right.
And I noticed in your class, they were all young.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I could access them.
Well, I mean, I'm always of the philosophy that there is a part for everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
And
but
it's just, but it's
but there's
true.
not
The
that many.
opportunities, a lot of the opportunities are going to be for that age group. The 18 to 35.
I was going to say 18 to
Yeah.
35.
So-
A woman 18 to 30.
Yeah.
A woman has to be pretty
But
young.
I
There's
get
so many
called-
beautiful women out there. Holy shoot.
Well, here's one of them. You need to get one of these face shields. So
I'm
that
going to
we
get
can
one
see
of
your
those. I'm
face.
going to get one of these. These actually can buy on Amazon, right?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to definitely get one, because this hides everything. I'm not allowed to show you.
That's it.
You got that? That's it.
You get the mask police.
Did I get
coming.
that? But anyway, so how can anybody reach you, Paul?
My website.
acting,
Yep.
everything.
Just contact me either with Facebook Messenger. Look for Paul X Campanella on Facebook and message me there, or go to my website, which is paulxcampanella.com or pxcamp.com. Either one will take you to the site, and there's a contact page on the website.
Amazing, absolutely. Paul is actually one of the #1 acting studios that he's very recognized in town for, because And it's funny, I've been to quite a few of them years ago, and you're very natural, you're very easy, and you really do tell them exactly what it is.
Yeah, tell the truth.
The truth. Yeah, the truth is like oil.
Well, that's right. Jimmy Cagney had a great definition of acting. He said, hit your mark, look them in the eye, and tell the truth.
That's it. But looking in people's eyes is one of the greatest things you can ever do. Because most people go like this. That's all. I say, no, my eyes are here. Can you come back?
Exactly.
Paul, thank you for coming on.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with everything. You go for that goal.
Thank
go
you.
and get it. And you will. We'll be right back. Take us live with Ninon. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. See you in a bit.
Hey, I tried calling you earlier. Yeah? I was in the club for a couple of hours, but, had a crazy night last night. Ricardo went home sick. Why didn't he come to me with that information first? He should have told me, right? I tried calling you. He was trying to find you, but he looked like shit, so I told him to go. Well.
Let's go, ladies. Just made bail.
We made bail! All right? Everybody all right? You okay with this?
Yeah, sure.
I gotta get out of here, man. Look, just tell him I'm really sorry, okay? I tried calling him, but he's not picking up his cell phone.
Go home and get some rest. You look like shit.
Thanks.
Don't print another story. You got that? Now, where's Jackie Snow?
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. Then I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off the beat.